Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back. Please, everyone gather around. We're going to talk about a really cool movie today called The Revenant or Revenant, whatever. I don't know where the is. I just wrote down Revenant. It's a 2015 action western. I didn't think this was a western, but I guess it's around the era of westerns. Like, insert the dates of Cowboys. That date? Yeah, that's around that time. I think this is done. The director is Alejandro G. Inarritu, I think. Sounds about right. He did Birdman and other successful movies, but not too, like, worldwide popular, but they did earn lots of awards. So we have a really good director on our hands. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hardy, Will Poulter, Domhnall Gleeson, Paul Anderson, my boy Paul, yeah, Peaky Blinders, my son. Tom Hardy and Paul Anderson are my boys from fucking Peaky Blinders. I love Peaky Blinders so much. So it's good to see them here. Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm going to get to how good he was. I didn't expect him to be as good as he was because I thought he was a crap actor. Long story short. So to my surprise, this movie was based on a book. It was based on Michael Punk's 2002 novel, The Revenant. And that was based on a 1915 poem, The Song of Hugh Glass. And that was based on the frontiersman Hugh Glass's experiences in 1823. So this is all loosely about like a true story. And there was a poem, there was a novel, and now there's a movie. And technically it is a remake because Man in the Wilderness in 1971 was also an American Western action movie, but it was really old. It's also not The Revenant. It doesn't say Hugh Glass, but it is all about the same guy. So it seems to be like a popular story, like Boogeyman, I guess. And then everyone just makes a shit ton of movies and stuff from it. That's this. Okay, to the movie. Glass's son, Fitz, Jim, and who I'm going to call the captain for the rest of this, are frontiersmen slash adventurers slash fur trappers. They don't exactly give them all exact titles, so I'm going to call them frontiersmen or adventuresmen or whatever. And we see Glass hunting elk in the forest with some people, and their job out there is to earn money from pelts, bring it back to the fort. So the whole group gets attacked and ambushed by some Indians. I'm going to call them Indians. They're also called something else in the movie. I'm going to call them Indians. Lots of men died, around 30, I think. So the mission was to get pelts. They failed. Right, let's just get back to the fort. Yeah, I wrote down here the fort. So let's please not run into more Indians and get absolutely dunked on by their arrows. Because this is the time where you had to put in powder, put your stick in, put the ball in, and then go. Like, there's no magazines back then. Like, it's that old, you know. Fitz then disrespects Glass's son, who is half Indian. Glass goes out and gets brutally attacked by a bear. Brutally as in there's a lot of gore. And luckily he kills the bear and gets found by the group. They take him back. So we discover that the Indians who attacked them is looking for the chief's daughter, who was stolen in the night by a white man. We'll call her girl because she's the only girl in the entire movie. No females, just her. So the group bring Glass with them on a stretcher, but eventually abandon him because he's too much of an asshole. Like, he can't walk, he's barely living. He's like on the brink of death, basically. Like, throat cuts, losing blood everywhere, you know, that just... He was attacked by a bear. So Fitz, Jim, and his son stay behind to, I guess, see through his recovery. Fitz almost murders Glass, but then murders his son. Then Fitz pretends that there are Indians coming and convinces Jim to ditch Glass, basically just lying. Glass crawls out of his grave, says goodbye to his dead son, eats off of a carcass, and then burns his neck injury shut. The Indians catch up with him, and he floats away down some rapid waters. Glass then meets a stranger who also lost everything and took him on his haunts, and eventually taking care of him because Glass remembered he's still injured and is like, whoops, I'm fainting now, basically. Meanwhile, Jim and Fitz eventually make it back to home base and catch up with the rest of the gang, telling the captain, Glass didn't make it, basically. Glass wakes up to find his new friend hung by the French. Thanks, French. Turns out the girls all the Indians are looking for is in this camp. Glass frees her. She cuts off a guy's dick, and she runs away. He steals a horse, shoots a guy, and kind of just causes chaos, and he runs away. Glass then gets chased again by Indians. They shoot his horse, and he falls down a cliff onto a tree, cuts open the horse's insides, and climbs in, sleeping there for the night. Bro, this is it's crazy. Like, a way more fucked up version of Star Wars. I think Luke did it once. I'll get a screenshot. But this, it's so brutal, you know? Eventually, Glass makes it back to home base. Fitz runs away because everyone knows he's a monster by now. And the captain brings Glass with him to hunt down Fitz. Fitz kills the captain, but Glass eventually manages to pin him down in a really brutal but awesome fight. Just before Glass does the finishing blow, he sees the Indians and lets them kill him instead. And then he looks into the camera, and that's that. Credits. Wow. So the whole movie was pretty awesome. It really shows how unforgiving the wilderness can be. Like, he gets attacked by a bear. He cuts open his horse and sleeps inside because it's so harsh and cold. The gore is intense. Like, obviously, I haven't seen bear wounds, but it looked pretty real to me. You know, it's pretty impressive. The shots and cinematography is really the best thing about this movie. There are massive, continuous shots, like long shots throughout this movie, which is 2.5 hours, by the way. And that's insane. And I think I read up that they had to make sure that they're like shot in the best lighting every single day. So it took ages to shoot it. And with all of the long shots, I'm talking 30 seconds to a minute of one shot. So many of them. And the acting is insane. Leonardo DiCaprio really acted his heart out. So the story starts out like an action thriller into a survival, into a revenge plot. Seriously, a cool roller coaster of a movie. Really, really cool. All I knew was that this movie had a bear. And they were right. There was a bear. But just a lot more. But I must say, I don't get the point of the movie. Like the whole message. Because there's got to be a message, I guess. Looking it up, apparently it's like how humans are destroying the environment, which I didn't pick up at all. But apparently people are thinking it's to represent the revenge of the Native Americans. That the white men came in, took all of their land and crap, you know. Which I get, because Glass gave them Fitz in the end. But they were chasing after the people who took their daughter, who were the French. So why did Glass give them Fitz, an American? Plus, I don't understand the dream sequences. I couldn't connect. Maybe I'm stupid, but that doesn't bring the movie down, really. So it's really not too bad. So with that all being said, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. So other than those really small complaints, I have nothing but praise to give to this movie. The cinematography is probably the best I've ever seen. The acting is phenomenal. Really, really good. The story is pretty straightforward, but some people say it's boring. Also, people say it's long. Fine for me. I don't care how long it is. It's a good movie. Alright, I'll have to admit something. I thought Leonardo DiCaprio was a bad actor. Hear me out. Catch Me If You Can, Wolf of Wall Street, Great Gatsby, maybe even Titanic. He's a charming, smart, cunning gentleman. And I thought that that's the only guy he could play. I thought this guy was like a one-trick pony. He's very good at those things, like Jason Statham only plays tough action guys. You know, I thought that's what he was. This movie proved me damn wrong. I was wrong. He's not as bad as I thought. He deserves all the praise he gets. I will admit. Let's hope I catch more of his movies soon. See you guys soon.